Okay, we're in the house of Leonard Della Kelley, which is mom and dad to me. I'm the oldest. And we have Uncle George over here, which I understand is going to be on a little bit later. But we're going to try to cover some of the past events that's happened in mom and dad's life, how our kids come along, and LaFayette, I'm sure, has a few questions, which he'll want to direct at them, and I'll turn it over to you.
Hello, you can't see me, I'm behind the camera. I'm the man without a picture, just a voice. Mom, I think you're the orderly storyteller. I might just, you know, for the benefit of it.
On the whites or the Crider?
Well, anywhere, but I remember as a kid, before we had television, believe it or not, there was a day when we didn't have television.
Right.
And I remember the greatest pastime would be sitting around listening to you tell a story. And I lived the story. I thought you was the best storyteller there was. So what I'd like for you to do is start anywhere, but go back as far as you can, and just tell us about the history of the family. And then, after we come through all the way up to the present, then go back and pick up little segments of individuals. Okay? Go right ahead.
Well, I'll start in when I was 7 years old.
Was that when you were born?
No, I was born December 12th, 1912.
Okay.
And I was 7 years old when my mother passed away. That was 1920. And I met my husband then, Leonard Kelley. And he was riding on a company pole of an old log wagon.
You'll have to explain to these dummies what a coupling pole is.
That's the thing that sticks out the back of a wagon.
Yeah.
A barn wagon.
Is that the thing that holds the front wheels and the back wheels together?
Yeah,
Right.
Why did they stick it out so far in the back? So
the
nuts like?
kids could ride on
Is
it.
that the reason?
No, they let it out for a longer wagon.
Oh, I
If
see.
they had like long logs to haul.
I'm old enough to remember that.
Right.
Yeah, they
Go
let
ahead.
it out long. And I met him when I was 7 years old. I went to school with him. And we'd play what they call ball, and it was 80-0. Which was, there'd be a bunch, choose a bunch on one side of the schoolhouse and one on the other side on the ground. And they'd choose apart. They'd throw that ball over the schoolhouse. And over there they'd catch it, and the one that catch it run around and try to tag the one they wanted to get on their side. Well, I'd try to tag him, and he'd try to tag me. When he'd catch it, he'd try to tag me all the time. And we'd play dropping the handkerchief, where we all rig around together. And they'd go around, one with a handkerchief, and the one he dropped it back, he'd go around again and drop it back. Well, if he got it, he'd drop it behind me, and if I got it, I'd drop it behind him. So that was called dropping the handkerchief.
And during the book, we'd read and do the things that we were supposed to do, you know, learn. But when the recess comes, we was kind of too bashful to talk to each other. So we claimed each other.
Yeah, we went to school.
Yeah.
And I was born in Waterloo, Alabama. He was born in Waynesboro, Tennessee.
Right.
So what else you want to know then when we got married?
Well, let's go back and find out about, I have in my office a picture of Grandpa and then great-grandpa. So what I'd like to go from your side and go back as far as you can, tell me interesting things about them, and then bring up to your children, your marriage and your children.
Grandpa White,
Grandpa White.
and his name was Jack Andrew White. The only thing's Andrew Jackson White, that's what it was. And my grandmother was young. Her name was Sally Young. And I don't know when Aunt Elle and all them was older than my daddy.
Now, who's Aunt Elle?
That's my daddy's sister.
How many sisters and brothers did he have? You remember?
He had 4 sisters and 4 brothers. Let's see. Frank Week, Walter Week was the brother. And Elle and Matilda and Aunt Ora and Aunt Hattie was the girl. all girls. But my daddy was born in 1886, and he died in 1955. And I can't tell you, I sent you when Grandpa and Grandma was born off the tombstone.
Yes.
But I can't remember that, when that was.
What about, how far do you remember? Who is the oldest one? Do you remember your grandfather?
I remember my grandfather on my mother's side, George Cryer. And he was a man with big, long hair. He was from down here and had long hair and hit curly. His mustache come back and curled away up.
He'd been a hippie today, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he sure would. If anybody's seen him, they thought sure he come out of the woods somewhere. Yeah, and I can remember my grandma cried. But she was in bed. All I can remember is seeing her is in bed sick, and I can remember her funeral. And then she hadn't been dead too long when Mama died. She died about 1960, and Mama died in 1920. And then we moved to the house of Grandma White. We stayed there 2 years. And then we moved out. I was 7-year-old when my mother died, and I was 14-year-old when my daddy married me.
Now, of course, the only grandma I remember is Grandma Dolly.
Yeah.
Naturally, you didn't have me until you were older.
No. No, I married September the 5th, and I like from September the 5th to December the 12th, being 21-year-old when I married. And
you had a rough upbringing. Tell me.
Oh, I had a.
I know you hewed out cross ties.
Yeah,
Our people probably don't.
Cross ties.
What is
light poles for a living?
What is hewing out cross ties? You know, that's
these railroad ties.
You did it. How did you do it?
Had an old axe with just one blade on it, and it was heavy. And one side you sharpen it. You had to hew that down till it was slick.
And you did that.
And I made cross ties to sell. I skinned light poles. These poles that the lights and telephones on. I skinned them. And the way you do that, you straighten the hole out and sharpen it real sharp, and you just go right down it. You just peel that bark right off of it.
You told me about a time when you, when Grandpa pulled one of your teeth with a pair of pliers.
I've had more than one pull with one.
He never took you to a dentist?
Never took me to. I never went to a dentist till after. I guess it's after Katie's born.
Do you consider Grandpa being mean because of that, or was that just the way they did things in those days?
That's just the way they did things. They didn't have dentists and doctors like they have now. They had them 25 or 30 miles away, but who wanted to ride an old mule out there to get a tooth pulled?
Especially if you had a backbone sticking up an inch and a half.
Yeah,
You'd have to have your rear end doctored when you got there.
That's true.
Tell me, I remember one time you telling me as a kid where you fell out.
I was picking up sweet potatoes the 15th day of September, and I fell out in a fur, and I never put my feet back to the ground till the 15th of February.
What was wrong with you?
And typhoid fever. And I sat down and carried my stepmother, Grandma Dolly, combed every hair off my head, just slick as the palm of your hand. And when he come back just as kinky as it could be, and white. And I kept my hair colored till I was about 45-year-old, and I decided I was just going to let it go. Now it's white. Yeah.
Right. Got it? Yeah, go. Are you going to tell us about who? Well, what mule?
Rubber gut.
Rubber gut.
Yeah. You'd hook him up to a devil scratcher.
What's a devil scratcher?
That's an orange plow. Got about 5 teeth on it.
Oh, I've seen those things.
And them teeth are like a double shovel plow. They're bowed, you know, so they can sow the dirt. And it's coming up a cloud. I was down in a low place as well. I heard it thunder. In a few minutes, I heard my stepmother blowing the horn. Me to get us to the house. And I didn't even know that mule had never been rode. So I unhooked that mule from a plow and I jumped on its back and it took off. And when it got to, my stepmother seen him coming over the hill running, so she run shut the lock gate, and that mule run right up that lock gate and stopped right over in the lot I went. Right over there.
It wasn't broke to ride?
No, it never had.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know it. I didn't know that. I didn't know that it never had been rode. And I went over in that lot for them hogs and everything to that boy.
Why'd they call it rubber gut?
Because it stretched out so. It just stretched as far as he could before he had moved the plow at all. To keep a stretching, you know. Yeah, I've had some close calls in my life. I tell you, I turned over a wagon with a load of hay on it one time, and I was in under that load of hay. Coming up a rough road, and at one side he's coming up a bad cloud. Boy, I was pushing them old mules to try to get home. And over that went, and I was right in under all that hay, and I come out, and when it turned over, that unhooked the mules, you know. Boy, I grabbed them mules and I took off.
Tell me, do you, now your brother and sister, now I know Uncle Ander is the only brother you have, full brother.
Yeah.
And then you have two half-brothers,
Elmer and J.C.
Elmer and J.C. Of course, Elmer's a member of the Church of God. And Clara is the only half-sister. Now the full sisters, Aunt Bertie, Aunt Winnie,
Aunt Gertie.
Aunt Gertie.
And I got a sister dead named Louise.
Oh, yeah. Dead named Louise. Oh, I remember that. I remember you telling about that.
Yeah, she died about 3 weeks before you was born.
Yeah, I don't remember her. I just remember you telling me.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a good memory, but don't go that far back.
Don't go that far back, huh?
Okay, what else about the family would you like? I mean, say you've been dead for 20 years. What would you want us to remember about your family tree?
About my mother.
Okay, what about your mom?
Well, I'd like to remember about my dad and mother too, as far as that. But my mother, in October, before she died, Marvin Brown come in a car. There wasn't many cars back then, and got her and took her to church. And she couldn't even walk, but she got happy and shouted up and down in front of that pulpit. I can remember that as well as it is history.
What kind of church was it?
Presbyterian. Everybody went to
it's
the
going to
altar.
shock everybody there because Presbyterians don't do that anymore.
I know it, but then everybody went to the altar, and everybody went and prayed for each other, and they shouted. And they still shout at William Stafford at Presbyterian.
Yeah, but they're not all good Presbyterians.
No. They must be something else.
Tell me, what I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but what was the year we're talking about?
1920.
1920.
October 1920.
And she died?
December the 26th, 1920.
Did she know she was sick then?
Yeah. She knows she... then they called it cat's eye of the throat, or TB of the throat, which is a cancer.
We know it is cancer today.
Yeah. And the evening before she died, on Christmas Day, we all went in there. Now, of course, I didn't know. And every one of us went in there and seen her. And there's a bird come in and lit on the footboard of the bed while we were standing there. And she told us all by. And she died the next morning at 6 o'clock. See, we couldn't even go in worse than that. It wasn't better. Because then they thought TB was catching, everyone she had. So that bird come in and lit down. And I never will forget it. It was an orange around here, and had orange around it, and had white tips on its wings. And I never will forget my daddy. He screamed out and went to his knees when that bird come. He knew then she wasn't going to last long. But she talked right up to the last breath after. She never lost her voice. She couldn't talk very loud because her throat was eaten. But she talked where we could understand. She called us everyone by our name and told us bye.
What interpretation did they put on the bird at that time, and how do you view that now?
Well, they say when a bird comes in the house, and if it lies anywhere near a bed, the one that sleeps in that bed has got a short time to live. That was back then. The old people, you know, that's what they said.
She died shortly afterwards.
She died, that was about 8 o'clock at night. She died at 6 o'clock at night.
Was the bird any recognizable species that you know of?
Yeah, I've seen one bird since then like it, but I don't know. They call it it's not a pealark, but it is a field bird.
Scripturally, of course, the Holy Spirit comes on the wings of a dove.
Yeah.
You know, that's scriptural.
Well, his wings were white.
You
Tip end of the wings were white, but he had a yellow ring in
I
there.
gather you feel it had a symbolic meaning of the angels and God's presence.
Well, she told my daddy that she had a glimpse of Jesus just before she died. That might have been her last words. I don't remember.
What was her full name?
Margaret Alice.
Margaret Alice. How old was she when she died?
34.
34. Very young woman.
Yeah.
And you were only 7? 7 years old. Well, you know, myself, I think all kids go through a time when you're little, being afraid that you're going to lose mom and dad. And does that still hurt today?
Yeah. Sure does. Especially my dad. I love my mom, well, I know I did. But me and my dad were so broke. Where you seen him, you seen me.
That's true.
As you growing up, huh?
Yeah, if he was cutting wood, I was right there with him. If he was doing crosseyes, I was there with him. And what he was doing, I was doing, and I plowed just like he did.
That's right.
You know, my memory of Grandpa White was, a man's man.
Yeah.
You know, he was a guy that if he had to fight, he could fight you.
Yeah.
You know, he was, to me, he's kind of a throwback to, always, it was kind of like when Elma, you know, started, he didn't want to ride with that woman.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of like, you know, to hear him talk, it was as though he didn't belong in the age of cars and fast mobility. He belonged in an age gone by.
But he didn't want to ride with a woman driver, that was for sure. He never wanted to ride with her.
You didn't know the truth of the matter, then I think worse than that's me. My wife's probably better driving than I am.
Yeah.
Tell me some other interesting things. Now, I know Uncle Will. Now, is that Grandpa's brother?
Youngest brother.
Now-
Now, his daddy died when he was 34. But
Yeah.
Who's daddy now?
my daddy's daddy. My daddy is only 13-year-old, and he had to go to making a living being a man of the family, of all the rest of them.
Yeah.
And he was 13-year-old when my grandpa died. And Uncle Will wasn't even born. Grandma was only 4 months pregnant with Uncle Will when Grandpa White died. And Grandpa White died, what we call now cancer. Then they cat power or the throat or
All right, now, which one did they call barbed wire galluses? Barbed wire, whatever it was.
That is Ernest Perkins. That is a good friend.
Why did they call him that?
Because he used wire for galluses.
I guess that's natural. I don't know why I didn't think
If he broke this button off of his overhauls like this, he wired it up with baling wire. He made it, there'd be a hole in there, and he'd put a piece of wire through there.
What about now, which one of my great uncles, when he'd get mad, would come and they would lock the door? Was
That's Uncle Frank.
Uncle Frank. Now,
Yeah, he was
I
mean.
gathered he was mean.
He was mean. He just threw the kid, he just look at you.
You know, those on the tape's going to hear Uncle Henry talk about some of his relatives not being mean. Because, you know, they did a few things outside the law, but they were mean. Somehow I kind of call that being mean, but that's all right. Tell me about Uncle Frank.
Well, he'd come in, he'd slap his wife around, he'd knock his kids in the head or do whatever he wanted to do. You know, he wanted them out of his way. And they'd always leave home. They'd lock the door and go out the back door and come to our house. And Papa was the only one that Uncle Frank was afraid of. Uncle Frank knows this. He come over there. Papa knocked him in the head or something. He know that he started on Aunt Hannah and the kids are beating him and what did
Is that his wife, Aunt Hannah?
Yeah, that's Uncle Frank's wife. And they was one whole winter there that she lived with us more than she lived at home for the kids.
Let me draw a comparison. It's not to do with our history, but it's interesting to me now.
Yeah.
That Aunt Hannah stayed with this ornery, good-for-nothing, whatever else you want to add to it, because divorce then was frowned on.
Yeah.
Well, today it make it so easy.
Yeah.
Uh,
You never heard of divorces back then.
well, you know, I'm of course more of a modern than I am of an ancient time.
Yes.
And while I don't believe in divorce, I relate that to my girl. And by the way, I'm a new grandpa. Just wanted y'all to know that.
Yeah.
If that was my daughter, it would just be awful hard for me to live with him.
Yeah, but you know, you see, Aunt Hannah married young, and her father and mother both died when she was young. In fact, her mother was dead when she married. So she had nobody to look to, you know, to go back to. Well, now, Uncle Will, he was me. He'd come in and try to use what we called a thing we swept the yard with, brush broom, what we called it. He'd come in and want to use that on Grandma. Well, Grandma would just slap the fire out of him, knock him down, go on. She just like a man. She wouldn't take that.
Now that's
my daddy's mama. Uncle Will's my daddy's brother. But now Uncle Frank didn't drink. After that one winter when he went wild, he quit.
now. Which one of them is any of your great uncles still alive?
Yeah, Uncle Will, still alive.
Yeah, what?
He's the only uncle I've got. Oh, well, I've got Uncle I married, Uncle John Williams, but I never did have no use for him. He's 97 years old now. Because when I was little, they shaved once a week on a Saturday, every Saturday. And he'd get me down and he'd rub them old beard on me, my face would bleed, and I always hated that man. I never liked him till today. To me, I ain't got no Uncle John. But he did marry Papa's sister.
What other interesting facts would you like to put on this tape?
Well, I'm going to tell you something about all of us once. We had an old blue hen. It was a blue hen, and it laid blue eggs. And we had that hen petted, and we had that hen ever since the summer before Mama died that winter. And we wouldn't let nothing happen to that hen. We'd put her in a pen every night. One day Uncle Will come in, and she'd come in the house. You know,
Go ahead and tell a story, but just hold that picture right there. That's my grandson. Just go ahead and tell the story.
Yeah.
They want to know who that is.
And Uncle Will come in, he was drinking. Grandma says, if you just don't learn that old hen to stay out of the house, I'm going to have her killed. And Uncle Will grabbed her up and run out and chopped her head off. And we was mad at him. We wouldn't eat a bite of that chicken. Grandma cleaned that chicken, cooked it, and we wouldn't eat it, and we wouldn't talk to Uncle Will. I guess it was 6 or 8 months that we just wouldn't
Now,
see
that'd be like eating your best friend, huh?
Yeah, that's just it. And then we had a hog one time. Papa's give us the old sow had so many pigs she couldn't feed them all. So we took one of them, made a pen on the end of the porch, and we kept that little old pig going. We fed it, learned it how to drink milk, and we raised that pig till it dressed 500 pounds. Papa killed it, and we wouldn't need a bite of that meat. And he went and sold it because every time we'd go to the table as meat, we'd say, "Is that a piece of old John?"
When you say dressed, you mean after it's killed and weighed out?
Yeah. It was dressed out 500 pounds.
Wow.
And he sold it, all that meat.
She had more pigs than she did tits to feed.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, excuse me. I should have said something else.
Feedback.
Feedback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my daddy raised foxes. And if one of them got sick, we had to set up a hit just like we were the human, the doctor. Because he'd get $100 for a fox hound.
Okay. Let's go into, when did y'all get married?
We got married September the 5th, 1933.
1933. And I know you had 10 children.
9 of them living.
And Martha Sue's born dead.
Stillborn.
Stillborn. And of course Dearman, that's the one who introduced you a few minutes ago.
He was born July the 24th, 1934.
His name is Dearman Wiley.
Wiley.
And my name is Barney LaFate Kelley. Did you know that on my birth record my name is spelled L-E-F-A-T-E? And I've always spelled it L-Y-F-A-T-E?
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be spelled. That is my daddy's name, Jim Kelley LaFate.
Poor fellow.
Yeah.
And then Quinnan Ardmore.
No, he ain't got no middle name. His mother wanted him named Ardmore.
Oh, that's not his middle name?
No, it's Quinnan. Quinson. See, I sent his birth record back 3 times.
Well, that's the first I knew that he didn't have a middle name.
Yeah. I sent his birth record back 3 times, trying to get it spelled Quinnan. And every time it's a different way. The last time it come Quinson, and I said, we're going to let it stay like that. We went and got him.
Where did Grandma come up with a name like Quinson?
I don't know. I let her name you 3, but I started in there.
And the next one then is Kenneth Duane.
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 D-U-A-N-E. Duane.
Duane.
There ain't no W-N-E. It's just Duane.
Duane.
Yeah.
Duane. Boy, am I learning today. And then the next is Wanda.
No, Benny.
Oh, that's right, Benny.
Benny Andrew.
Benny Andrew.
Then there's Wanda.
Wanda.
Mae.
Wanda Mae. Bonnie Faye. Katie Ann. And then Joseph Michael. And then the...
Martha Sue.
Okay, now, and all of them are still married to the companions, except for Joe.
And Wanda.
And Wanda, and Wanda's second husband, and Joe's got her third, and he's got the best one of all of them now. It just seems like he's got the one that's going to be able to make him happy.
Yeah.
Had it kind of rough.
Got the one that keep him under control.
She's a nice lady.
She is. She is.
Now, how many grandchildren do you have?
27 living. I got one dead.
How many? That's right. That's Wanda's oldest boy. Yeah. How many great-grandchildren?
Well, I got 5.
And of course, I'm a grandpa. I told you that once before. You know. Yeah. Just don't want you to forget.
I got 3 great-grandsons and 2 great-granddaughters. That's the Darlas and Zanny.
Okay, now, I want you to forget that Dearman is sitting over there. Tell me, which one of your grandchildren you love the most? No, I'm just kidding you. Don't answer that.
I couldn't tell you that.
I just kidding you. I just thought I'd put
like
it
Miss Norman said. You must be proud of LaFate, a minister. You must have loved it. I said, I try to love all my kids just the same. I don't try to love one, but some of them I appreciate a little bit more than I do the other.
Well, I'll have to tell you, there are times when I feel guilty. Not because I'm doing what I'm doing, but I feel guilty that somewhere along the line I have time in my family has passed by and I've missed him.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
now I can't allow the guilt to bother me that much.
No.
I look at Dearman and Dan. Well, look like Danny and Donnie. I've been with them in their 20-something years, and I might have seen them a total of 15 times.
Yeah.
You know, and I told Joe last night, I said, I do. I miss my brothers, and I get lonesome for them sometimes.
That's
And I get feeling sorry for myself, and when I do, I allow myself to feel sorry for myself for a while. And I shake
You
myself
get
out.
out of it.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, maybe that's kind of what makes heaven real, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You
Yeah.
know, I get that. Okay, now, how have you lived with them for 49 years? How have you lived with him?
That's $64,000 question.
Well, I don't have $64,000. But you know, he's a good man,
Yeah.
but he's stubborn.
When he wants to be.
Yeah, he's stubborn. And a little bullheaded.
He gonna have his way. That's right.
Okay. But,
No, I have God to let God have his way in my life.
yeah, well, sometimes Leonard has his way.
Don't we all?
Yeah, we don't.
Now,
all of us.
But what was the one thing about him when he was a young fella with lots of hair, no glasses? What was the one thing that you liked about him?
Oh, when was it that he had a lot of hair?
Oh, I don't know. Didn't he ever have a lot of hair? Is that right?
No, he
Yes,
never
I
had.
blew that one.
It's like his hair has been very thin. Well, I liked him because I told my daddy, Gertie married a man that drank, Gertie married a man that drank. I said, if I never get married, I'm not going to marry a man that drinks. If I stay single the rest of my life, I won't marry a man that drinks.
What about the farm now?
And I said, I'm not going to marry a farmer. For I've had to work hard all my life. From the time I was 6 years old, I've had to work.
And I guess none of your kids really drink that much, do they? I mean, Benny probably takes a nip or two.
I don't think Benny hardly ever takes anything down
Well, none of
because
the
he's
rest-
got ulcers in the stomach.
But none of the rest of them, I'm sure all of them have tried it once in
Yeah.
a while.
I haven't.
But no, Dearman and I are the two lilies, you know. But
Preach it, brother.
now you, but that was the quality. Now I want to ask Dad, what was it about her that attracted you?
Well, she seemed so wonderful, so humble and so sweet, you know, as she was growing up. And she never done a wrong thing look like in her life.
Like Margie.
And that's about it.
I never got to
always
go to
been-
church unless I took Uncle Bob with me.
Now you, go ahead.
I got to say when I was 13 years old, and she just looked like the one that would really please me in the Lord the rest of my life. You know, in the Lord, not out of the Lord. And that's about it.
You remember me telling you one time, saying, Daddy, you done a good job with us kids, but there's one place where you fail. And I asked you, I said, how come you never told us about sex? All I learned about sex was out behind the fence, behind the barn. You remember what you told me?
I don't remember.
You told me, so I didn't know anything about it. And now look, you know, I only bring it up because for years,
Yeah.
I said, I don't know why my dad didn't teach me, but why did I have to learn it the hard way? It never dawned on my mind that your generation never
got-
studied it.
Yeah.
That's right.
See? And it just never dawned on my mind that you never did.
Yeah. Well, the idea is this. Now, you teach a kid things like that, they'll go overboard more so than ever. because that is a quiet question, and it has to be carefully handled, or you go overboard unintentionally.
Well, my point, I agree and disagree with you. I think you're correct, except I didn't know anything about it. You know, I had to learn it. The only reason I brought it up is because it's just amazing when you're a teenager how dumb your folks are, and how smart they get as you get older. You know, they don't look near as dumb as they did before.
That's right.
Of course, I'm married to Alma Forrester, and got 2 children, Susie, and I've got a grandson, by the way. Have I told you that before? And I've got a boy, Pat. Pat is like my right arm. He's a good boy. I pray for him every day. God don't let me lose my boy, you know, and I'm proud of all of my family. And I just want to say, for the benefit of this, when we play this back, when y'all are gone,
Yeah. You can talk about it.
I just want you to know, I love both of you.
Okay, we love you.
And
We love you too. Bye.
whatever has been the difficulty over the years, I really do attribute I attribute a great deal